I'm on a scooter for the first time in my life. I'm not scared, I feel really confident, and I'm having to... Oh, that's all right, I'm all right. Oh, there's a red light, that means I've got to stop. Oh no, it's not, it's changed. This is crazy. This is an exquisite electric scooter. It's so nice, it's so smooth and quiet. What I'm not used to is the fact that you don't have to pedal. But you look in your wing mirrors to see that. And what you can smell, my goodness, that is really shocking. I'm really aware of traffic fumes on this. I can smell that diesel taxi ahead. Literally, it's coming up under the visor. I can really smell it. It's a stinker. And that's normal. So shocking, that is normal. And we're not even on a very busy street or in a very busy part of London. So obviously I can tell, I mean, literally, I have ridden this now, you know, for half a mile. And I'm getting used to it. I mean, it's taking some getting used to. Oh, now I was given very strict instructions about braking. 60-40, 60-40, I think. I'm trying to do it right. So, welcome to another episode of Fully Charged. This week, coming from central London on a Vmoto electric scooter. And it is really, really nice. Oh, actually, it feels great. Oh my God, it's so fast. Woo! So I'm still really a novice. As you can see, I've got an L plate on. For those of you overseas who may not know about L plate, that means you're a learner. I'm a learner because I don't have a motorbike license. So I'm allowed to ride this without a motorbike license. This is not, this is equivalent of like a moped. So it only does about 28, 30 miles an hour flat out. So it's not a fast scooter. But that isn't because it's electric. That's because of the law. That's why I'm having to ride this one. Obviously there are electric scooters, as you will see, that will go considerably faster than this one. But I have to say, for using this in London, it makes complete sense because you rarely get the chance to go that fast anyway, and you can nip in and out of the traffic. Oh, pull out in front of a truck. We're now going down one of the trendiest and most expensive streets in North London, Upper Street. There's a wedding. It's all happening here. A lovely summer's afternoon on Upper Street. Speed humps, ba-boom. It is very comfy, so however the suspension works on this, it definitely works. I mean, those are quite severe speed humps. I'm not, obviously you can feel it going over them, but it isn't jarring. It's a very smooth ride, really smooth ride. Oh, I did the indicator. Cancel. I did an indicator. I'm going to do something else now. That's my horn. I was so happy to indicate. I've done 2 indicators now. Yes! I'm a biker, sort of. One of the weird things is that when you're riding this, when I'm riding a bike, I'd be right over on the side of the road, like you do on a push bike. On these, you go right down the middle, and I'm kind of not used to that. And I've actually glanced at the speed camera we're about to go past because I was thinking, are we breaking the speed limit? We're not. I can understand now why people love riding motorbikes and scooters and things, because it is just brilliant. And I've not really ever done it. It's something I've avoided through timidity and fear. It's the lovely Hemmingford Road. And I'm just giving you a little political tour of London because Tony Blair, before he was Prime Minister, used to live on this road, Richmond Crescent, just up there. This is Richmond Avenue, and I used to live down the other end. I used to see him walking along here with his kids in pushchairs when he was just an MP, before he was Prime Minister. And I just thought he was a kind of depressed looking lawyer. Here we go. Because the other big thing is that if you've not used electric vehicles, one of the things that internal combustion engines do is vibrate. Forget the noise, forget the pollution. They're very, very vibratory type machines. And you can feel that vibration all the time, particularly on motorbikes. And of course, there's going to be people who love that, and that's their whole shtick is the noise and the vibration. But actually, in terms of exhaustion, this is just so relaxing. Yeah, what you realise quite quickly when you zoom around on one of these is the biggest danger, because some people might say pedestrians because they can't hear you. I really don't think that's an issue because you're keeping your eye out all the time, but it's cars pulling out in front of you. It's cars are really the big danger when you're on one of these. It's other drivers not paying attention, not seeing you coming, because you're going much faster than you would on a push bike. I've noticed myself really checking every side road we go past to see if any idiot's not slowing down or not looking where they're going. So if you drive a car in a town, please be extra careful for cyclists and scooter riders and motorcyclists, because they're in a lot more danger than you are. And if you're a pedestrian, look before you cross the bloody road. Yeah? And there's a little petrol scooter there. Can't keep up with me. Burnt him off. Yay! Electric Vmotos for the win, as the young people apparently say, or probably said 8 years ago. That is a great contrast. That is a fantastic contrast. So basically, Richard and Natasha, thank you so much for protecting me, if nothing else, on the road. To have someone with your level of skill in front and behind Natasha, that was very important. I could see you in my mirrors. That's really the first time I've ever ridden. I've never ridden. I've ridden motorbikes, but never ridden an actual scooter with a petrol engine. So that was a real first, and it was brilliant. I thought I would be more wobbly than I was. I felt very secure. Could see where I go.
Very low centre of gravity.
Very low centre of gravity. No, it didn't feel like whoa. It felt very stable. Really good. Amazing. So quickly tell me about, because so you're from vmoto.uk. Is that where people can find you?
Vmoto-uk.com.
Thank you. You said yes. Natasha corrected
I disagree with everything.
Yeah. Vmoto
Yes, we're a good team, yeah.
.uk.com.
-uk.com.
Yes.
Just not to be confusing.
No, that's very good. And so you're distributing these scooters in London, but they're made in China, is that right?
Made in China, right. To an original German design and or German engineering rather.
Right.
And the design is from Italy. Right. So it's a proper worldwide company.
It's a global company.
Indeed.
Right. Someone once said to me, there are X million electric vehicles on the road, but 90% of them are electric bikes and scooters.
That's right.
And they're producing large numbers of these. These
Huge
aren't one-off.
numbers. So the main reason is because China being China, they can tell people what to do. One of the things that they tell people to do is not to ride petrol bikes in the middle of cities anymore, particularly two-stroke, which these bikes
would have been originally.
Yeah, they replace. So I think the latest stats are there's over 12 million powered two-wheelers made every year.
Wow. Wait a minute, 12 million being made a year. So there's
being made per year. 4.1 million of them are scooters.
Right.
1.2 million, I think, are motorcycles.
Wow.
And the remainder are
pedal-assist bikes.
Yeah, pedal-assisted bikes.
Wow.
But the market in China is huge.
So when you're on the street, I've still never been to China. When you're on the street in China and there's loads of bikes going past, most of them are electric.
Probably, I've just come back from Shanghai, so probably about 80-90%.
Wow. Because the top speed of the one I was on is what, 25? Is that
28?
28. But basically that was really exceptional. Most of the time you're driving through London traffic, you're doing 10, 15 if you're, you know. So it's actually, I didn't feel, oh God, it doesn't have the speed I need to be safe.
Two things that you need. First off, obviously keep up with the traffic, and secondly, get away from traffic at lights.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need an initial kick, but then the speed limit in London is 20 or 30 miles an hour, so you don't really need any more speed than that.
The two questions people always ask is, what's the range and how much does it cost? But I was impressed. Remind me how much this one costs.
This is £1,799.
Right.
That's all included. That includes the battery, and this is the perfect city machine because if you are living in an apartment block, this has a removable battery, so you don't have to have a headache of how you charge it. It's a 12-kilogram unit. You take it out, wheel it.
Oh, it's got wheels like a wheelie bag.
It's like a little suitcase. It's an extendable handle.
Wow.
There's little wheels on it. Just wheel it to the plug socket, plug it in. It takes 3.5 hours to charge from 0 to 100.
And then what sort of range would you get?
The range on this one is Comfortably, I could do on it about 28 to 30 miles.
Right. So it's not that long, but actually 28 to 30 miles in the centre of London is riding for hours.
This is
Isn't it? That's a long time it takes.
this is a little and often sort of model.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, even if you were doing like a 20-mile commute
Yeah.
in London, and you could take your battery out, put it under
Yeah.
your desk, plug it in, and it's full again by the
In
time
fact,
you go home.
we've got one client and he's got 2 chargers. That's about his commute. He's got 2 chargers each end of his commute. So he's coming to work. As he works, he charges it. So it gives him the opportunity to come back with a full battery.
There's another chap who he rides for a takeaway, and he just has 2 batteries. So while he's out delivering, one of the batteries is on charge, one is in the bike.
And of course, he's constantly going back
Yeah.
to get
So he
pick
goes
stuff
back
up.
to base, so it works.
And he
It
uses
works
one of these for
incredibly
that.
well.
Wow.
Yeah,
We've installed a different top box on it to fit in big pizzas, and that's totally doable as well. They can be
kind of dwarfs the bike, but
Yes.
It's
apart from
slightly.
that-
Because I love that, the seating arrangement now with a little back support. For a
That's
gentleman
nice,
of a
isn't
certain
it?
age, it was very comfortable.
yes, we pride ourselves on lumber.
And a lot of
support,
lumber
so-
support, yeah. But then this is the one you were riding, isn't it?
Yes.
So this one is obviously a bit bigger and a bit chunkier. So,
Yeah.
well, tell me, how much is that?
So this one,
This is £3,299.
It's got the prices spot on. Does that include VAT?
It does.
It does, there we
All
go.
of the prices are about
Include VAT,
inclusive.
very good.
and there's a middle one which looks exactly the same as that with half the battery.
Right,
which
so this
is-
has got a bigger, this has got
This
the
is-
much bigger battery.
Yeah. So that one does 100 miles maximum on the charge. The one with the smaller battery, which is cost 2,399, that's got half the range, so 50 miles.
About 50 miles.
Yeah.
But, and do you think, I mean, is it a realistic, achievable 100 miles, or is
I've
it?
done 82.
Right.
But you've done it in max mode, yes.
And yeah, so what you're meant to do is be sensible and,
Oh, so but you
and
were-
poodle around on, yeah.
Well, if it does 82
Yeah.
with a bit of welling,
Yeah.
you probably, so with a
Yeah.
bit of gentle riding, you could get that.
I was on the M40 coming out of London
Oh, right.
He was.
in the unrestricted part of it, doing 45, which is as fast as it'll go. And that was hairy enough.
Yeah.
Restricting it to 30 miles an hour I think I'd probably have ended up on the road somewhere.
So again, it's very much an urban scooter. It's not meant to. You don't ride this one to.
No, not
Cornwall.
really. You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. It would take you a
Few
week.
days.
But then, and that presumably doesn't have an extractable a removable battery.
No, that's a huge lithium-ion battery. It weighs about 52 kilos.
Right.
So even if you could take it out, you probably wouldn't be able to carry it. That's got its own charger on it. So you just plug it straight into the mains.
So you don't. You always plug these into like a regular 13 amp socket. Is that right?
Yeah, it does. They don't draw that much. They're not electric cars. So that one charges on 3 amps at 240 volts, and it takes 7 or 8 hours to charge from
Right,
0
so
to
it's
100.
that's an overnight charge.
Yeah,
for
it's
that.
an overnight charge.
I could tell when we were riding around together, that one would shift
Oh, it
a
does,
lot
yeah.
quicker than that one. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Off the mark, they're about the same.
Oh, are they? All right.
Yeah, this one has a more intelligent throttle response, so it doesn't dump 4 kilowatts into the back wheel, because that would be quite lumpy. It's got a UK made controller, which it's a 3-phase motor, so it feathers it and gets you going without putting all of the oomph in at once.
But I didn't feel that one didn't feel like it was. It didn't feel like whoa. It was as soon as I touched it, I felt out of control. It was a very smooth.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good. I thought the acceleration curve was perfect. It went. We're going faster. You know, but it didn't. I always felt in control of it, which is.
Oh yeah,
nice.
but that one's a quarter of the power of that one.
Right.
So the reason you're on this one is the fact
the
that
law.
it's the law.
Yeah. So you need a motorbike license to ride that one.
You need a CBT.
A CBT.
obviously, basic training.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you don't for that.
no.
But would you always, if you didn't have one, would you always have to have L plates on? I like the L plates.
You didn't need the L plates.
Did I
actually.
not? Strictly.
No.
Right.
That was my idea, sorry.
I think it's great. I think it was very useful.
I
'cause
also wanted to stay away from
Probably
it.
not such a bad idea anyway.
There was a couple of corners I went round in a funny position without indicating.
Definitely learning. Yeah.
The other thing that we should cover, which I always want to cover, is the actual kind of day-to-day running costs. You know, when you go, because people go, oh, only 30 miles, but how much it costs to do those 30 miles.
Charge this bike would cost you about 20p.
Right.
It's 0.6p per mile.
0.6p per mile.
0.6p per mile.
I think to do that even
This
on a
is
really
laughable.
little petrol engine bike is going to be quite difficult. I mean, 0.6p
Yeah, I mean,
a
the
mile.
best you get out of them in the real world is about 100 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
And as you know, as a result, you save your money. These are a little bit more expensive to buy, not a huge amount.
No, it doesn't seem like a big jump from
No,
petrol.
but you end up making your money back in 12 months to 18 months, depending on how far you ride, really.
And then if you
How
keep
much-
it going, it's then you go into the
Oh, it's
negative.
free.
It's free. It's essentially, after 3 years, sir, it's free.
That's what I've mentioned before. It's a very compelling riding economy, especially for guys who are in the delivery sector.
So there has been a bit of an uptake then from delivery companies.
Absolutely. We're testing with quite a few of them because you'd save about £100 on petrol.
Right. Well,
We were
per
told.
monthly.
Yeah.
Per
Monthly.
month.
per month.
So where can people come and buy one of these scooters?
So we have 2 dealers currently in London. We're hoping to open one in Edinburgh fairly soon, and one in Nottingham
Yeah.
over the coming months.
Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Thank you so much for watching. We've been shooting this in the fantastic bike shed in Shoreditch in London. If you're ever around here, come and have a look. It's an amazing place, lovely cafe and restaurant, amazing bikes. You can see some of these incredible bikes here and some extraordinary bikes outside, and occasionally a great big hairy biker, but they're ever so friendly and nice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please have a look at the Patreon support page if you want to support Fully Charged. We'd really appreciate it. It's really wonderful. And also, please subscribe to Fully Charged, because the more subscribers there are, the more people seem to watch. I don't know how that works. Anyway, if you have been, thank you for watching.